What is going on, everybody? You got Tone here, coach of the Miami Malamarlins, and we are back with our PLC week number 3 battle. This week we are taking on Razor and the coach of the Warsaw Weaviles. And if you did miss our previous battle, I encourage you to check that out. That was a very interesting game where we came out with a 2-0 win. So we are currently 2-0 to start this new season, taking on the Warsaw Weaviles, who is also off to a pretty good start himself. He is also 2-0 and coming off of a convincing 6-0 win in his last battle. So I definitely have to keep my wits for this matchup. So you see the team that he has here. He brings a team consisting of Sylveon, Zoctu, Charizard, Donphan, Keldeo, and Megastelix. He has some other interesting Pokemon that he left on the bench for this week, including stuff like Weaviles, Staraptor, Excelgor, Cryogonal, and the Ambipom, which is his Zmon user. And of course, my team is still the same from the previous 2 weeks. No real change in there. So the idea with my team, at the very least, was I was kind of interested in seeing why. There were some threats that I was expecting on his side. Mainly, I was thinking he would go along the route of hazard stacking against me, because my only form of hazard removal is Rotom-Mow, and it's not the most consistent removal for my draft. It's my only removal, like I said. So I really thought he would try to spike stack me with Excelgor and get up rocks with Megastelix or something and keep the pressure on me offensively with stuff like Weavile, Staraptor, stuff like that. But he decided to go a different option here, which I felt pretty interesting. And not gonna lie, I was kind of a little under prepped with this battle, but that's totally on me, because I didn't see the Charizard drop until like the day before. And I already had my Monge Gen, so I didn't really want to like change anything. I figured it wouldn't make a difference in the battle, but you'll see afterwards what I had to say about my thought process going into this battle. So my idea with my team and what I brought was, for the most part, is to take advantage of some of the flaws to his team, which is mainly considering the fact that he doesn't really do well against normal spam. Like, his normal resist is Megastelix. He does have stuff that's bulky enough to take physical hits, like the Sylveon, the Zoctu, the Donphan, all that sort of stuff. But outside of that, if I can wear down those Mons enough, it's going to be pretty difficult to maintain some sort of way of checking them between the combination of Tauros and Megalopony, which was what my plan was going into this battle. So for the team I built, it's kind of a pretty much offensively oriented team. So just to run down my team, I have a Choice Scarf, Infernape with Flare Blitz, Close Combat, U-Turn, Gunk Shot. I have a Choice Scarf Rotom-Mow with Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Leaf Storm, and Hidden Power Fire for the Megastelix. I have a Life Orb Tauros with Body Slam, Iron Head, Fire Blast, and Ice Beam. A Megalopony with Return, Power Up Punch, Drain Punch, and Quick Attack. A mixed defensive Celesteela with Protect, Heavy Slam, Air Slash, and Giga Drain. And for the most part, a physically defensive Seismitoad with Stealth Rock, Toxic, Scald, and Earthquake. So looking at his team, he brought pretty much most of the stuff I expected. Of course, I didn't really prep for the Charger like I should have, but other than that, most of the stuff I kinda did expect. At the very least, I figured he would try to bring something that can take a hit from Megalopony. Of course, considering he has Sylveon, Zoctu, and Donphan, he's making sure that at the very least he does not want to get blown back by a Megalopony, and I do not blame him. So in terms of the lead matchup, I feel as though my safest lead would be the Infernape. I am Choice Scarf, so I at the very least speed tie with potential Choice Scarf Keldeo if he decides to lead off with that. And I just U-turn out for momentum and see what goes on from there. So enough rambling, let's see how we actually do in this battle. Also, I want to give a shout out to Blue Rogue for recording this battle for me. So we are going to get challenged by Pokemon Trainer Razor. Good luck, have fun, and all that good stuff. So I'm going to lead off with my Infernape, like I said. and he is going to start off to lead off with a Sylveon. So right away, turn 1, I kind of wanted to click Gunk Shot because I felt it was pretty free because he wouldn't go hard Steelix here, but he decided to go for the Protect here. I'm actually going to go for a U-turn, expecting him to expect me to go for like a Gunk Shot or something like that. But I'm going to U-turn out here as he decides to stay in, and I am going to go into my... I believe I go Celesteela this turn as... Yeah, I do go into my Celesteela here, expecting him to like Hyper Voice or a Wish or something like that. But he's actually going to pull off the Baton Pass here, and he's going to get a free switch into his Charizard, if I recall correctly. Yeah. So he goes Charizard here, and like I said, my team isn't really built for dealing with Charizard, so I make a kind of ballsy play here, and I'm going to go into my Infernape here, because like I said, don't really have much of a switch him. I still goes for the Fire Blast here, and because I'm not invested in defense, that's going to do a lot of damage here. So I don't know what this Charizard is, but he's going to switch out his Charizard. He's going to go hard into his Keldeo here, and I think I went for a Gunk Shot this turn. Yeah, I went for Gunk Shot, expecting him to go hard into his Sylveon. But either way, I still get off some good damage here on the Keldeo here. I don't get the poison, but I do see leftovers on the Keldeo, so... Knowing this thing is not Scarfear, the first thing that comes to my mind when I see leftovers Keldeo is Subcall Mine. So I'm going to make the play and go hard into my Seismitoad here, and I'm going to see that he goes for the Secret Sword. And because I'm physically defensive, I'm going to take a good chunk though regardless. So the play here is, I could go for my Rocks, but the problem is he does have that Zoc2. So I'm going to make a play and go for the Scald here, expecting him to go into Zoc2 on my Stealth Rock. As he does go hard into the Zoc2 here, just to make sure that rocks aren't up. So I'm just going to get the Scald off here, get some damage off on the Zoc2. Don't get the burn, we see leftovers on the Zoc2 too, so he's bringing all the defensive threats at once. So not going to want to stay in here. I think I'm going to make the switch out into my Celesteela, if I recall correctly. Yeah, I go to my Celesteela, and I think this turn he goes for a U-turn, expecting me to switch out. Yeah, so right now he's just making sure he's getting all this momentum. I could have made a play and went and stayed in and went for Stealth Rock, but I don't really see the point at this time to make an aggressive play like that, because Stealth Rocks do hinder my team, but not as badly as they hinder his. So, like I said, I'm going to make another play. I'm going to go back into my Infernape here, and he's actually going to predict me to go into my Infernape, and he's going to click Air Slash, and then unfortunately it's going to take out my Infernape, which does suck because Infernape did have a lot of usefulness in this battle, but at the same time I did kind of feel like I brought the wrong set. But regardless, I'm going to go out into my Rotom here, and I'm going to click Volt Switch, if I recall correctly, as he decides to make the play and go into his Mega Steelix. So I get the play wrong. I wanted to be aggressive, but at the same time I didn't want to risk him staying in for some reason. So I make the play and go into my go hard into my Tauros here, and he decides to get up his Stealth Rock after of course he Mega Evolves with his Steelix. And yeah, so this is now going to be a little bit of a hindrance because rocks are up. I have no way of getting rid of it. So it's going to be wearing out my stuff like my Celesteela a little bit more than I would appreciate it, but it's fine. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go for a Fire Blast here just to gauge and see what type of Steelix this is, and that's going to do a good chunk as he just go for the Earthquake here. What I should have did in hindsight, I shouldn't have went Tauros first. I actually should have went out into my Seismitoad, which I'm actually going to do right now, is I'm going to make the Seismitoad play here. I shouldn't let my Tauros take that Earthquake damage because I have Seismitoad to switch in on this thing, as he's going to make a double switch of his own and go into his Donphan on another Fire Blast, I'm assuming. So here I believe I go for the Scald here just to get some damage off. Oh, okay. Alright, I'm thinking a few steps ahead. I double switch into Celesteela first because I assumed that this that the Donphan had Seed Bomb, and I didn't want to lose my Seismitoad for no reason. He goes for the knockoff here, gets rid of my leftovers. He's going to switch out of his Donphan, and he goes to go hard into his Zoc2 here. I believe I go for an Air Slash this turn. Yeah, go for the Air Slash here. So So I feel like I'm playing from behind as it is. So my idea right now is, I need my Celesteela for the Sylveon, but I wanted to see what the rest of the Zoc2 set is, because it benefits me. Like what I could have did here, I could have went hard into Tauros this turn and just kept spamming Body Slam because I need Celesteela for the Sylveon. So I'm just going to keep firing Air Slashes here because I want to make sure that the Zoc2 is as low as possible. And now he's going to reveal the Heat Wave and get off a good chunk of damage on my Celesteela. So I'm going to fire off another Air Slash, and I think it was like a few turns down the line afterwards that I realized that instead of going for Air Slash, I actually should have kept going for Heavy Slam, because Air Slash can miss, and Heavy Slam actually does more damage to Zoc2 here. So you're going to keep going for Roost. Keep this thing as healthy as possible, and I believe after this turn I go for another Air Slash. I go for the Heavy Slam here. I do a little bit more damage, and I'm not getting anywhere with this stalemate here. So you go for another Roost, and I think this is a turn, like I said, that I was going for the Heavy Slam, because he's actually gaining back more health than I'm dealing, that I'm taking away with my Air Slashes. I think I got a high roll with that one, but I think this turn he goes for another Heat Wave, and then I'm going to fire off a Heavy Slam. Yeah, so he Heat Waves here, he's over 50, he's at about 60%. I'm going to live on 3. I don't get burned, but I go for the Heavy Slam here. I can't switch out anymore because I died of rocks, and that did a good chunk of damage to that Zoc2. So now I pretty much forced him to kill off my Celesteela here. So he goes for Hidden Power, which I found interesting. I don't know what that Hidden Power was, but I took out my Celesteela. It was neutral. I don't know what the Hidden Power was. I still don't know to this point. But in any case, Celesteela drops. I'm going to go back into my Tauros here, and I figure this is a free Body Slam because why the heck not? So he's going to switch out his Zoc2 here. He's going to go into his Donphan on the Body Slam here. I mean, no. Alright, I'm thinking 2 turns ahead. I click Ice Beam here because it was a failsafe play, because it hits Zoc2, it also hits the incoming Donphan, and now I'm going to go hard into my Seismitoad here because I don't my Tauros take any necessary damage. I just want to go for the Earthquake and get off a good chunk of damage with the EQ. So here's the turn where, like I said, I am going to try to get up my rocks here, because the last time he did this, he went into his Zoc2 to keep rocks up. So he decided to stay in here and risk the Scald Burn. I almost take it out here. He doesn't get the burn. He goes for knockoff. He knocks out my leftovers, which is fine. So I believe this is a turn where I go for my rocks here, because I know he needs Donphan around for the Megalopony. So he goes hard to Keldeo because he knows it resists Scald. But I get my rocks up here, so at the very least I can pressure the Zoc2, more importantly, I pressure that Charizard, because I don't know what that Charizard is at this point. So I believe here I go for an Earthquake. Yeah, I go for an Earthquake. He's got to go for a Substitute here, thinking that I don't have any way of touching this thing, or expecting me to go for a Toxic. But I go for the Earthquake here, and I am going to break the sub of the Keldeo with this Earthquake, and I believe afterwards was the turn I go for I think I went for another Earthquake here, expecting him to stay in. Although I probably should have just gone for the I went for Earthquake here, but I'm going to drop to the Secret Sword here because I didn't really have another play, and we are already behind 6-3. But nonetheless, because of the damage that Keldeo took from the Gunk Shot, it's in range of my Tauros' Body Slam. So I'm just going to go into it and just click Body Slam. It's pretty free. As he decided to let this Keldeo drop to the Body Slam. So Tauros already picking up its first kill of the season. So that's very cool. And whoops, the wrong thing. I think I'll turn into Charizard here. So the way he went out into Charizard, I'm thinking this thing is Choice Scarf, but I don't have another switch in. He goes for the Air Slash. He's Scarfed, and my Tauros is going to drop. So down goes my Tauros. So now I'm down 2-5, and all I have left is my Rotom and my Megalopoly. I go into my Rotom here and take the rocks damage. And again, like an idiot, I decide to try to go for a Volt Switch or a Thunderbolt, knowing he still has a Donphan and a Steelix. So what I'm thinking now is, okay, if he doesn't have Ice Shard, he can't touch me. But he goes for the free Rapid Spin there. This was the turn I should have went into my I should have went Lopunny on the Rapid Spin and then click Power Up Punch. But here I'm going to stay in here, expecting him to probably knock off my Choice Scarf. But he makes the Earthquake play again. Now he goes for Ice Shard, and gets off a good chunk of damage to my Rotom. So now I know he doesn't have Seed Bomb. He crits me, doesn't really matter at this point, as I'm now going to make the switch out into my Lopunny, and now he is going to predict that. He's going to go for the Earthquake and get off a good chunk of damage on my Lopunny, because I don't really have much of a better play at this point. So he goes for the Earthquake and gets off a solid like 50%, so to speak. But I figured I'm going to evolve here because it's in range of, I feel like it's in range of a Power Up Punch. So he makes the play and goes on to his Xoctu here, which is totally fine by me. So I'm going to Mega Evolve here, click Power Up Punch, gets a +1, and then the turn afterwards, I am going to take out the Xoctu with the with Return, because he doesn't really have much that can switch in on 2 returns. And he decides to go ballsy and make us play out. I have Drain Punch for that. So he lets the Xoctu drop to the return here. So trying to bring it back here is my Megalopoly here. So he goes out and back into a Charizard. So I'm actually going to pause it right here. So what happens this turn was the very crucial play was the turn where he actually went into Charizard versus my Tauros when rocks were still up. If Charizard was at full HP, it literally would have won the game right here, because this is a Choice Scarf Charizard. He could just go for Air Slash, take out my Lopunny, take out my Rotom, and it'll be a 4-0 win. However, because it's the Stealth Rock damage, it's actually now in a position where I can potentially take out this Charizard with Mega Lopunny with a +1 Quick Attack. I did the calc beforehand. I didn't really have any other play, because it was either I'm going to lose 4-0 or I'm going to potentially lose 3-0 or something like that. So what I'm actually going to do here, click Quick Attack, because the damage roll on the Charizard, if he's not bulk invested, my Mega Lopunny's Quick Attack from +1 does 43 to 51%, and because of the Stealth Rock damage, he is at 51%. So I need an absolute high roll to knock out this Charizard. So with that being said, I'm going to go for the Quick Attack, and we are going to take the Charizard. So I get the high roll I needed, and down goes the Charizard. In comes the Sylveon though, which does suck because he did take a little bit of chip damage, but not enough to the point where it's in range of a +1 return. If I was at +2, I definitely would have taken it out, but it wasn't. So my Lopunny's going to drop to the Sylveon's Hybrid Voice. He gets the crit, which is kind of funny, because he gets the crit, the necessary crit that I actually needed, which is even funnier. But what can you do? So all I have left is my Rotom, and it's essentially going to be either a 3-0 loss or a 2-0 loss, depending if I hit my Leaf Storm. So we're going to connect the Leaf Storm here. We're going to take out the Sylveon, and so it's essentially going to be a 2-0 loss, because now we just go out into his Donphan, click Ice Shard, and that unfortunately is going to be a 2-0 loss in my favor. So GG to Razor. Nothing really much to say. It's just that there were some turns where I could have did a lot of things differently. Like, I played my Rotom very, very bad. I'm not gonna lie. There were some instances where me going for Ice Shard didn't make. I mean, not me going for Ice Shard. Me going for the Thunderbolt against 2 ground types was really, really bad play on my part. I should have clicked Leaf Storm or even HP Fire that turn. But at the very least, during the end game The end game was a little bit better for me because I still had a chance to win with Megalophony, but it is what it is. We're now 2-1 plus 2 differential. Nothing really much else to say about that. I know there were some turns I did play sloppily. And going back to what I said about the Infernape, I really wish this battle at least, that I wasn't close combat. Like a mixed attacker set would have been a lot more beneficial, but again, I'm not gonna worry about what I could have brought in terms of what I did bring. Just how I prepped, and my prep didn't work out, unfortunately, this time. But the fact that I still had a chance to win in the end was really all that matters. For the most part, this battle wasn't really hacksy. Like, there were some crits, but they didn't really matter in the long run, so I can't really complain about that. But nonetheless, if you guys did enjoy, leave a like, and all that good stuff that goes with it. So, yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it from me, guys. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and until the next time, this is Tone signing off for now. Peace out.